Good.
Hey, welcome to this week's edition of Hometown Haunts. I'm Kurt Richardson, the director of the Indiana Paranormal Society. Our web address is www.indianaparanormal.us. Jeff is with me tonight. This episode we're going to be talking about hoaxes, places that people say is haunted that we did research on that we figured out that isn't really haunted. Places that people, the different type of stuff that people come out with, you hear it all the time. You hear the urban legends. People say, this road is supposed to be haunted. Phantom hitchhikers, stuff like that. We'll do all the research and find out that, nobody's ever actually died on that land. We'll find out the stories that they're saying is true, isn't true. That's what our topic tonight's going to be.
Reports of houses that have been there and burned down, and the house has never been on the property before. A great place to research this kind of stuff and find this kind of information out is the local library. Almost every one of them has a local section that covers local legends and history and everything like that.
Gotta love the dogs. Yeah, one of the big ones around here in this area I know is Primrose Road over in South Bend. I guess what the story is that if you drive down the road going less than 30 miles an hour, something's going to slice your tires. If you drive down the road going over 35 miles an hour, supposedly your car is going to break down. Either way, you're going to end up having to walk. The story goes is that there used to be a farmhouse on the land, and that whenever your car breaks down, the farmhouse will appear. And if you go up to the door, knock on the door, if a lady answers the door, it's supposed to be Lady Luck. When you get back to your car will start. If nobody answers the door, then you get back to where your car was at, and your car will be gone. Again, it's just local legend. This is what was listed on, I believe, the Shadowlands, a few other websites out there.
Farmhouse in the Hood.
Yeah. We did the research out there. There was never a farmhouse there. The land was actually a swamp at one time up until South Bend did their water project out there. They ended up draining a lot of that. There's a subdevelopment out there. It's got this huge lake in the center of it. That's where they drained a lot of the water into. It's a man-made lake. So, we did the research out there. We know it's not haunted, but it seems like everybody wants to go out there. Whenever you say, haunted places in the South Bend area, that's one of the top ones that comes up. Can you think of anything else in the area that's like that?
100 Center.
100 Center. But we did do research on that, but we do know, deaths happen there. I don't know if we've ever had anything really paranormal happen in the area. Again, the hunt that we went on there was just so large it was hard to conduct a proper investigation out there. We had 40 or 50 people show up. People talking and, moving around. It was hard to do any EVP or anything, that we could seriously look at. I guess some of the other stuff that we could talk about that could be hoaxes. You get a lot of times, I know I've seen it on YouTube a few times, talked to a few people, that you'll get videos. I know one of the classic ones I believe was posted on our website was a ghost girl in the graveyard, and they're showing the scene, and sure enough, they're moving the camera around, and you see a girl sitting in the graveyard, and as soon as you see it, it's your typical story. The cameraman freaks out. The camera moves off of her. He takes off running, screaming, and everything's, kind of screwed up there. You don't see anything else of her. You just get a brief glimpse of her. A lot of stuff like that I consider hoaxes. Any true paranormal investigator is going to tell you that if you see something, yeah, you might jump, you might start, but I don't think you're going to actually run away. If it's something true, a true ghost,
you're going to be trying to catch that thing on camera.
You're going to want to keep it centered. You want to zoom in, see what it is. Stuff like that, I consider a hoax. And again, sometimes I think people do it just to get recognition. Sometimes people do it just to get, their name out there. They think it's cool. Some people do it because they think they're helping the community. They think if they get a ghost photo out there or something like that, then it'll make more people believe. This really isn't the case. It's more, we want concrete, hard evidence.
This also video has been circulated a lot on the internet, and every time someone gets it, they attribute it to their group or a friend of a friend or something like that. And it's to the point now that no one knows exactly who really filmed it because it's been passed around so much.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to figure stuff like that out. You can actually get videos like that all the time. The other thing that you get a lot of times is the photos and stuff. People will mistake orbs and stuff. They'll get rain or something like that, snow, dust, and they'll want to try to say it's something paranormal. Camera straps through the camera lens. We've seen that 100 times. It's not a vortex. It's a camera strap. And you can try to tell the people this, and they'll swear up and down that it's not. Again, we're not trying to be mean. We're not trying to shoot down all your evidence, but that's what any skeptic's going to do. You've got to look at it, with a skeptic mind.
A true believer is just like a skeptic. It doesn't matter what evidence you present them. They are so dead set in their point of view that it will not change. A skeptic will never believe it no matter what happens, no matter what evidence you present. And someone who truly believes in it or is obsessed with it will never believe any of the information that you present that proves it otherwise. And we get that a lot.
So again, if you're planning on going places, trying to do some investigation of your own, don't just, blindly believe stuff. Always go into it with a skeptic mind point. Always try to disprove, whatever it is. Because any evidence you get that you post online or that you show people, that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to try to disprove it. So if you can disprove it yourself, then you've got to discount it. Any stuff that we get on our hunts and investigations, we never say it's paranormal. We could have a picture of a full-bodied apparition standing there. We're going to post it on the website, say this is what we think it is, but you're allowed to make up your own mind. It's up to you to decide what it is.
Best bet is always do your research.
Yeah.
Study the area before you go out there so that you have background information. So that if anything does happen, you have something to fall back on as far as information-wise as to what happened there or not. Again, like we've said, where people have said, a house will appear there, and there's never been a house built there before. And it helps to have that kind of information going. One, it can help alleviate you wasting your time on something that never ever existed. And killing 2-3 hours in an area where there's supposedly some kind of urban legend going, and you go out there and spend part of a night, and you come back and find out nothing ever close to that ever happened in that area.
One thing you got to remember too, though, is once a place becomes an urban legend, you'll get a lot of kids out there with Ouija boards. They can actually make a place haunted. So yeah, it's okay. Primrose, we still go out there and do investigations every once in a while. It's a fun little spot. It's open to it's public access, so it's one of the spots we don't really need to get too much permission to be out there for. It's a good place to take new members, let them get their feet wet.
Literally.
Yeah. It's a swamp land out there. But, yeah, you get people out there with Ouija boards. Munchkinland's another area like that where, you get people out there messing around. You can actually bring something in. It may not be a ghost, but it may be, a demonic entity. It may just be a feeling of the area, being a heavy feeling while you're there. Something that's going to attach to you, a psychic vampire, could be something like that. Those are the type of things you get at places like that. So yeah, again, it's fine to go out there every once in a while, see if you get anything. But like you said, don't make it a everyday thing. Spend an hour or two out there if you get something great. If not, move on, go somewhere else where there's activity. Do your research, check online,
And not to mention, like you said before, you get a lot of kids that go out there, they want to party and have fun and drink and smoke weed, whatever, do Ouija boards, and you never know when they're going to show up. So you don't want to be out there too long, especially if it's a small group of just 2 or 3, and you get a group of 10, 15 punks show up out there. That's really the last thing you need out there is you out there by yourself with them.
And trust me, they will show up. We've seen it 2 or 3 times now. We'll be at Munchkinland or something, and carloads of kids just driving by waiting for us to leave. I've been out there before where there's actually been kids in the cemetery. We've met, they're coming out as we're going in. So it's, just like a big fun house there. So stuff like that does happen, unfortunately. As a paranormal investigator, make sure personally don't take any alcohol with you out there. Don't have anything on